Hello, thanks for joining us on Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele. Welcome. Oyo State House of Assembly has removed the Deputy Governor of the state, Rauf Olaniyan, from office, having found him culpable of allegations of gross misconduct leveled against him. Oyeyinka Omole has details of the emergency sitting of the House.
At the emergency sitting of the 25 lawmakers, including the Speaker, out of the 32 members of the House, the report of the 7-man panel set up by the Chief Judge of the state was read by the Majority Leader, having concluded their investigation on the alleged gross misconduct against Deputy Governor Rauf Olaniyan. The panel, in its report, recommended that Rauf Olaniyan was culpable and found guilty of the allegations based on the evidences from a contractor who allegedly paid some amount of money from a contract sum approved to him by the state government and evidences of refusal of the deputy governor to attend official engagement assigned to him by the state governor. The panel also confirmed that the deputy governor neither appeared before the panel nor sent any representative. The House adopted the report of the panel and moved for the removal of the deputy governor.
The deputy governor of the state, the general of from the office with effect from today, Monday, 18 July 2022. Those in favor that the House to adopt the recommendation and this report say those against
the House therefore approved Adebayo Lawal, the running mate of the governor for 2023 election, as the substantive deputy governor after considering a correspondence from the executive to fill the vacant position in Ibadan. Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission has been asked to review the positioning of voting cubicles and polling units in order to protect the secrecy of the ballot and prevent the reoccurrence of vote trading. Guest on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, while reviewing the just concluded Osun governorship election, noted that politicians are deploying fresh strategies on vote trading. Lydia Sampson reports.
The Osun governorship election, another off-cycle poll, has been done and dusted. Election observers applaud the significant improvement in voter turnout, early accreditation of voters, and the electronic transmission of results from ward level to collation center, which is now a game changer. Now, while the incidence of violence has come down drastically, that of vote trading has gone up rather discreetly.
The positioning of the ballot of the voting cubicle can reduce the secrecy of the ballot. It's okay for you to place it differently. In a number of the polling units that we visited and that the observers reported, you can see that the ballot, the cubicle is placed in a way that does not allow secrecy at all. People are looking over their shoulders. Even the way it's placed close to the INEC ad hoc staff, you will find out that they can't even see what they're doing.
About the issue of about arresting and prosecuting. Of course, the entire public heard that when we were in Ekiti, some persons were arrested with money. We've not heard from the police what's happened. But truly, not only INEC, but even the media, the civil society organizations should follow up to know what happened, because there must be some form of deterrent. Some people must be used as scapegoat, as you said. If people know that some people went to jail because of this, next time they will be a little bit careful.
INEC is therefore requested to do a thorough postmortem with a view to enhancing the credibility of elections going forward.
There's no controversy today about the use of technology in administering election in Nigeria. I think this is good to note, and there's a way in which it signals what is likely to happen in future elections. I mean, with public confidence high, with the enthusiasm and the turnout, I think we can look forward to a successful 2023.
It is expected that the successes of the off-season polls will be brought to bear on the 2023 general elections. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
A multi-agency detection program on counter-terrorism travel designed to respond to threats of terrorism and criminal activities across different borders has been initiated by the United Nations Office on Counter-terrorism. Aviation correspondent Emmanuel Emir reports that the collaboration is to prevent criminals from evading detection by law enforcement agents.
2 years ago, the UN Office on Counter-terrorism estimated that over 40,000 foreign terrorist fighters from more than 110 countries may have crossed different borders to join terrorist groups in some countries. Since then, a counter-terrorism travel program to assist nations in building their capacity to detect criminals by collecting and using advanced passenger information and passenger name record data have been launched. The whole idea is to improve the use of international databases to checkmate terrorist activities across the globe.
We're concentrating on the airline industry, but we could also envision providing the support for the maritime industry as well, because we need to respond to the threat of broken travel, where terrorists and serious criminals will use different types of modes of transport.
Leading the collaboration is the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, responsible for regulating air travels in Nigeria.
So it not only improves security, it helps with facilitation. And also for us in aviation air transport, it gives us data.
There's a package we call Suspect Index. Suspect is a watch list. And through that database, our system is able to synchronize and give us alert that this is person of interest.
The counter-terrorism travel program is expected to extend to other modes of international travels, including marine and rail. Emmanuel Emir, NTA News.
A summit on covering money laundering and terrorism financing in the West African sub-region is underway in Abuja. Participants will be reviewing recent efforts of various governments and exchange ideas on ways to evolve further collaborations to check illicit flow. Dele Atumbi reports.
Pain of development on the African continent is believed to have been attributed to money laundering by some politically exposed persons, thereby denying the region the needed infrastructural facilities. This has equally led to terrorism financing at the expense of the peace of the continent, jeopardizing its security and the people. To check the development, efforts have been put in place both in the past and now to rid the continent of money laundering and terrorism financing. The convergence of these experts is part of the efforts to curb the trend.
The primary objective of this summit, therefore, is to promote awareness on emerging money laundering and terrorist financing risk, and to provide a platform for delegates to share experiences and foster cooperation and collaboration towards effective implementation of AMSFT preventive measures.
The trio of money laundering, terrorism financing, and proliferation financing have the potential to pose serious challenges to financial institutions' sound management and can even threaten their very survival. Therefore, as a supervisor, they matter to the central bank.
The summit expresses concern that 3 out of the top 10 countries in the 2022 Global Terrorism Index are from the West African sub-region.
Share experiences of best practices and establish a platform for effective coordination, cooperation, and engagement of competent authorities on how to effectively fight against money laundering and terrorism financing.
The impact of the expansion of the membership of the Lakeshard platform to 11 is also being assessed. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
A look at the legislature. The House of Representatives has insisted that operators in the upstream sector of the Nigerian oil and gas industry must submit themselves for proper forensic audit to determine the exact amount to remit to the Nigeria Content Development and Monitoring Board. This was at the end of an investigative hearing on remittance of 1% of contracts awarded to the board. John Yako reports.
9 companies appeared before the House of Representatives Committee investigating non-remittances to the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board after failing twice to appear to defend allegations of defaulting. Non-auditing of accounts, absence of documents to support payments, or non-receipt of funds by the board between 2010 and 2022 are reasons advanced for the hearing.
When that demand was served on us, the license was revoked. We have been remitting the 1% NCD levy to NCDMB, and have come up with a summary of the payments.
You can only be in production to be able to pay these commitments, regulatory obligations that we are expected to do.
The finance team did not avail all the relevant documents. That is where we are. Until all the relevant documents come in, we will not be able to accept their position.
Companies that have complied were given a week by the committee to provide evidence of payments, while those who are yet to reconcile their accounts with the board were asked to do so immediately.
We're not going to take things lying, we're going to follow up, like I said earlier, and ensure that if you're not responsive to NCDM, you have no business continuing in the sector. As we help you to go, also show good faith and encourage NCDM to be able to carry out its functions and obligations.
The 1% remittance by oil companies to NCDMB is aimed at increasing local capacity and knowledge transfer within the oil and gas industry in Nigeria. In Abuja, John Yaku, NTA News.
The head of the civil service of the Federation for Lashade, Emir, has tasked ministries, departments and agencies to effectively implement the new standard operative procedure document approved by the Federal Executive Council. Consequently, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture has put up implementation process of the document. Musa Aliyu reports.
About 70% of activities of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture is field-oriented. The remaining 30% are office-based. The idea of the standard operating procedure is for ministries, departments and agencies is computerization of most of their activities.
This policy is to advance us towards full digitalization. The era of paperwork is gradually being phased out.
And here are documents from the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation to the Ministry of Agriculture that will serve as a guide.
I therefore urge all the respective directors, heads of departments and their champions who are the owners of this document to ensure that the full operationalization of the developed SOPs align with the ministry's mandate and vision.
The implementation of SOPs will professionally boost the ministry's output and encourage all staff to give their best.
The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry said training and implementation of the SOP will run concurrently. Musa Aliyu, NTA News.
On the judiciary, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Yakubu Chinoko Mekyau, has emerged the president-elect of the Nigerian Bar Association. Mekyau emerged winner as NBA president-elect, having polled 22,342 votes to defeat 2 other contenders, Joe Kyari Gadzama, SAN, and Jonathan Tadi, a former general secretary of the NBA. Additional Adigbite was elected General Secretary with a total of 18,536 votes, representing 56.2% of votes cast for the office. With this victory, Mekiao SAN becomes the 31st president of the NBA. He's expected to take over from Olumide Akpata in August 2022. Recent events on insecurity in the country has brought the consciousness of the relevance of protecting court records and its premises from intruders. The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, is tasking court registrars to ensure no court data is breached. Olabode Arewa reports. Okay, we don't have that report ready for you. Bring it during the course of the bulletin. Concerns have been raised on the prolonged ASU strike, which is believed to be, reducing educational system in Nigeria. Abdulmalik Hassan reports that this is part of the expected prospect at a retreat of vice chancellors of Nigerian universities. Let's see that.
A clarion call answered. These vice-chancellors of various Nigerian universities meet with their supervisory body on how best to improve learning in Nigerian universities. But before a technical session with prospects, a moment was dedicated to reflect on the prolonged closure of schools.
As vice-chancellors, we have a deeper understanding of the negative consequences of the prolonged closure of our institutions. Our retreat this week must therefore identify and support ongoing efforts by government, particularly the Minister of Education, to end this strike. We must help and join the effort to end the strike and devise credible measures of restoring lasting stability to our campuses.
More of an introduction of what to be expected. But for the Minister of State for Education, there is much to be done.
It is crucial to build resilient and stable systems that function at optimal capacity. As part of this all-important retreat, it is imperative that we continually shape our understanding of what is right or wrong in administration, as well as the consequences of falling short of expectations.
The Vice-Chancellors shared a moment have moved into the technical session and are expected to come out with recommendations that hopefully will reshape the education system. Abdulmalik Hassan, NTA News.
The National Population Commission says the circulation NPC recruitment 2022/2023 invited Nigerians to apply for employment for the trial census and the 2023 census portal on social media platforms is a scam. A statement by the Director of Public Affairs, Dr. Isiaka Yahaya, says the information NPC recruitment 2022 to 2023 is totally false as well as misleading and should be treated as a scam by fraudsters to swindle unsuspecting members of the public, particularly job applicants. The Commission dissociates itself from the portal and reiterates that its recruitment portal for the ongoing trial census is no longer active and was shut down the moment the Commission concluded its recruitment process for the exercise. The Commission wishes to assure Nigerians of its commitment to be transparent in the conduct of all its activities. The Onitsha River Port is to commence full operations, we hear, with the official handing over of the port by the federal government to the concessionaires in Abuja. Uina Kalwaka reports.
The Onitsha River Port was built in 1983 and since then it has been lying fallow and unutilized. Efforts to revive the port by the federal government led to its concessioning. Handing over the facility to the concessionaires, the Managing Director of National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, George Moghalu, said the concession is for about 30 years and the deal will see the federal government earning about 4 billion naira at the first instance and another 23 billion naira over the 30 years concession period. He noted that the impact on the economy will be huge.
5 million containers are already in us for Southeast, for example. It translates to 10 million trailers being on our road. 5 million bringing it, 5 million taking the containers back. So if we can now move it by water, we have released that pressure from the road. We have saved our infrastructure. So there's quite a lot of advantages in getting that on the functioning optimally.
The MD disclosed that the Ogota, Lokoja and Baru river ports are next to be concessioned. In another development, Bangladesh is to collaborate with NIWA in agricultural production along the waterways. The agreement was made when the High Commissioner of Bangladesh to Nigeria visited NIWA's MD in Abuja.
This is going to impact the economy by 1.3 to 2%, and it is going to reduce the poverty by 0.8% per year, according to an assessment.
The area of mutual interest between both countries include dredging and cultivation of agricultural products along the various river basins across the country. Oyinaya Kaluoka, NTA News.
All right, we'll head into Port Harcourt now to join Doris for the next set of reports.
And welcome to Port Harcourt. To foster education, promote culture and dissemination of information to all strata of the society, Professor Cyril Nwana Memorial Library of National Museums has been established in Port Harcourt. The Nakume Ulolo reports that the inauguration of the library was performed by the Director General National Commission for Museums and Monuments, Professor Abba Isa Tijani.
National Museum is a special institution which is concerned with the preservation of cultural heritage of a country in form of objects for research and study as well as enjoyment. For the smooth running of its professional and administrative work, the establishment of the library is to complement the museum in its drive to achieve its purpose of imparting knowledge. Inaugurating the library, Director General, National Commission for Museums and Monuments, Professor Abba Isa Tijani, noted that the library will function as a research and learning center.
Museums and libraries are public institutions, and therefore they are places where members of the public go and enjoy and educate themselves and get knowledge.
It opens doors for more people, both students, academicians, anyone who wants to study.
The donor of the library, Professor Cyril Nwana, said the idea behind the donation is for the advancement of humanitarian services.
Usually, when my husband goes to excavation or goes to museums, he carries me along. And as we go, things are even explained to me. And he was so much interested in museum studies.
In attendance were dignitaries from the academia, including the Zonal Director, NTA Port Harcourt Network Center, Bosede Adibayo. In Port Harcourt, Danukume Ulolo, NTA News.
To ensure improved yields and food sufficiency in the state and country, the Cross River State government has kick-started the training of over 2,000 farmers in Ogoja and Yala local government areas of modern techniques of farming and agricultural practices. Paul Abel reports.
With the IAD administration focused on agro-industrialization, the Cross River State government is putting all measures in place through intensive training and distribution of farming inputs to create job opportunities, increase food production, and alleviate poverty for a better society.
Today, no matter how much you produce, or no matter how much poultry you want to grow, you produce, there are factories that will take them out.
I commend all of you, and I pray that God Almighty will make us, in this farming season to apply whatever we are giving judiciously.
The Excellency, the government of Cross River State, identified Ogoja and Yala specifically to commend the process of training to build their competencies and capacity in order to increase their yield.
benefiting farmers and other stakeholders, are sure of their contributions towards fulfilling the plans of the state government.
2 bags of yams, everything will grow fine. At least this fertilizer will help everybody. And we're giving this program to reach out to farmers.
This can only be achievable because of your love and support for the grassroots.
Out of the targeted 18,000 farmers to be trained this 2022 farming season, the government has trained 8,000 farmers with impetus to ensure food security in the state. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
And that's our beat from Port Harcourt nationwide continues after the break.
Welcome back. Let's take you back to the report we called earlier on the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, tasking court registrars to ensure no court data is breached by protecting court records and its premises. Olabode Arewa reports.
History has recorded several invasions of public facilities, either by hoodlums or some social media practitioners with negative intentions to undermine the judiciary. Efforts are taking proactive measures against such acts, informed this workshop for heads of judicial commissions, chief registrars, and court directors in Abuja. Some participants, including former magistrates like Erlin Damboyi and Pekum Jetei, are confident that their administrative skills will be enhanced.
Being elevated to the position of administration is a new thing that you need to be guided, you need to be taught on the nitty-gritty of administrative work.
You know, there is need for us to know a lot about court management. Without knowing what we are expected to do as management of the High Court or the Judiciary, then we may be running the Judiciary in error.
Going back memory lane, Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, says current trends in court administration require a combination of efficiency, prudent management of resources, and knowledge in redirecting the perception of court registrars to embrace artificial intelligence, the new paradigm.
Let me encourage you to imbibe core administrative values, practices, and procedures such as risk management, internal control measures, and courtroom safety.
The National Judicial Institute is fronting this cause as part of its efforts in reforming the judiciary. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, has enjoined the independent monitors of the National Social Investment Program to discharge their duties effectively in order to enable the federal government to fully realize its objective of reducing poverty in the country. The minister gave the advice at the training and onboarding workshop of Stream 2 independent monitors for the program in Abia State. Kinsley Ononiwo reports.
Training and onboarding exercise by the officials of the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is aimed at equipping the independent monitors of the National Social Investment Program in Abia State with the needed knowledge to effectively discharge their assigned duties. The minister, represented by her special assistant on monitoring and evaluation, Chinenyewabugu, noted that the independent monitors are one of the most important components of the National Social Investment Program, adding that the ministry lays special emphasis on ensuring its programs are closely monitored. She therefore urged the trainees to do their jobs in accordance with the laid-down rules and regulations.
You should note that no inclination of beneficiary by the independent monitors to be accepted by the ministry. Any independent monitor finds intimidating or harassing a beneficiary is taken out of the program immediately. We inform that we have officials of EFCC and TSS working with us on this program, and those who want to be handed over to the relevant authorities.
High point of the event was the distribution of engagement letters and working tools to the trainees. The independent monitors are expected to be monitoring the implementations of national social investment programs such as the National Homegrown School Feeding Program, conditional cash transfer, among others, in their communities, schools, households, and the market clusters, with the focus of ensuring that the primary objectives of the programs are achieved. In Omahia, Kingsley Onaniwu, NTA News.
A 27-year-old suspected drug queen has been arrested at the Lagos airport for planting cannabis sativa concealed in fetish bowls on 2 Oman-bound male passengers. The suspects are believed to be traveling to Oman Middle East before they were intercepted by NDLEA operatives at the airport. Meanwhile, operations conducted in Nasarawa, Kaduna and Adamawa states see to the seizure of 91 jumbo bags of cannabis weighing 1,029.5 kg and quantum of pharmaceutical opioids, as well as arrest of 8 suspects. All right, we're heading to Sokoto now to join Nana for the next set of reports. Nana?
Well, thank you, everyone, and good evening. Thank you for joining us in Sokoto. Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol said that the aim of the ongoing major rehabilitation at the Sokoto Central Market is to make it the best in West Africa. He made the remarks while receiving the report of the Financial Assistance Distribution Committee for the victims of the 2021 fire disaster at the Sokoto Central Market. Dalhatu Abdullahi has the report.
Submitting the report to Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol at the Government House, Sokoto, the committee chairman, Alhaji Namadine Abdurrahman, said out of the 4,024 verified victims, 3,863 have received their checks of assistance amounting to over 986 million naira. He stated that 159 victims have not come forward to collect their checks amounting to 12 million naira.
We have in the process of many organizations on the way and manner the market operates and decide to make some recommendations with the hope that the government will pass the recommendations.
Receiving the report, Governor Aminu Waziri Tambol said Sokoto Investment Company will be saddled with the responsibility to run the market according to the global best practices in business.
It's not easy. We are appealing with the traders to cooperate and support the government towards achieving this objective. We know that they are finding things difficult even now as construction is going on. It's a temporary setback and ultimately it's for their own good.
The fire incident occurred on the 19th of January 2021, and the state government subsequently established the committee for the distribution of financial assistance to the victims after their verification, headed by Alhaji Namadina Abdurrahman. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Maria Aminu Waziri Tambol has expressed support for Otorhinolaryngological Society of Nigeria to hold its 29th annual general meeting and 30th scientific conference in the state. She gave the assurance while receiving a courtesy visit from the leader of the society in Sokoto State. Sheikh Muhammad Detti reports.
The Otorhinolaryngological Society of Nigeria is a society of ENT surgeons in the country. The society is making preparations to host ENT surgeons from across the globe by November this year. Chairman, Local Organizing Committee of the International Conference, told wife of the Sokoto State Governor, Maria Aminu Waziri Tambol, that they decided to seek for her support and partnership and recognition of her role in the fight against gender-based violence and various health programs. He said the international conference will benefit Nigerians as there will be free surgical treatment.
And one of the things we want to do is to begin to do some programs for care of the deaf, surgical interventions like cochlear implants. We also want to treat people with cancers. We want to treat people with a lot of catars in different forms. And the benefit will be that people who have been indigent, who didn't have money, will have opportunity to have first-class expert care at no cost.
Wife of Sokoto State Governor Maria Aminu Waziri Tambol expressed happiness with the commitment of the society to host the international conference in the state. He described the forthcoming international conference by World ENT Surgeons to be hosted in Sokoto by the society as commendable. She assured of support to the society at all times. In Sokoto, Show Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Well, that's it for us here in Sokoto. We'll go back to Nationwide in Abuja after this commercial break. Stay with us.
Welcome back. In a bid to support the ongoing trial census in Enugu State, some individuals have donated motorcycles to the Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, Ejike Eze, to assist the enumerators posted to Enugu West Senatorial Zone of the state reach the nooks and crannies of the state during the trial census. The presentation was made at the Advocacy and Sensitization Program of the Commission organized for the people from the area. Okechukwu Agubama reports.
Presenting the motorcycles to the Federal Commissioner by the leader of the area, Philip Oko, reassures the Commissioner that the enumerators will be secured throughout their stay within the senatorial zone. The Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, Ejike Eze, expressed satisfaction with the level of support given to the Commission and enumerators. He added that the federal government has assured Nigerians that the trial census will be scientific and digital-based.
We are doing online registration. We are testing all kinds of technologies. So we want to experience, we want to get the results. How will this thing look like? Because we don't want to disappoint the nation.
The Federal Commissioner commended the stakeholders from Enugu West for the kind gesture. In Enugu, Okechukwu Agubama, NTA News.
All right, let's join Michael in Lagos for the next set of reports. Michael.
Thank you, Ruth. Following signs of weakness shown by some of the expansion joints on Long Bridge section of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, there are concerns that the project may not stand the test of time. Adeni Taiwo visited the bridge and brought back a situation report.
4.4 kilometers long, the Long Bridge section of the Lagos-Ibadan Highway has a total of 82 expansion joints inbound and outbound Lagos. A key assembly point in bridge construction, expansion joint is central both to the durability of the bridge and safety of road users.
There are movements in the bridge, principally due to differences in temperature and some other factors. So expansion joints are there to take care of those movements, and then because of the contraction and expansion of some members.
Pleasant sound, a muffled report coming when the smooth surface of tires bump into steel in barely concealed openings on part of the expansion joint. This sign of weakness on some of these joints has caused a lot of concern among motorists plying the axis.
They should try as much as possible to fix that, because it's as if the Long Bridge has been neglected, maybe because they believe it's kind of still okay.
If the expansion joint is faulty, then the bridge itself, the integrity of the bridge is questionable.
Allaying the fears of the road users, Southwest Director Highways, Federal Minister of Works and Housing, Adedamola Kuti, said palliative work has begun on the affected parts ahead of full replacement.
We already have plans to complete this Lagos-Ibadan before the end of this year 2022. So all these things we are talking about, in another couple of months, those parts should be in the country and we should be able to fix them.
In the meantime, motorists are still battling with gridlock along the highway, especially from Opik roundabout inbound Lagos, as expansion work intensifies around Bega and Secretariat sections of the expressway. In Lagos, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
Every year, when environmentalists, researchers, governments, and other stakeholders gather to honor one of the founding fathers of nature conservation, crucial issues affecting the nation and its diverse ecosystem are examined. This year, the concept of health overshoots and balancing ecosystems were examined. Jennifer Igwe reports.
Forest ecosystems, apart from providing food, fuel, medicine, and other resources crucial for human existence, are the largest terrestrial carbon sink on Earth because of their capacity to mop up greenhouse gases that cause climate change. In spite of these enormous benefits, Nigeria, for instance, has lost about 46,000 square kilometers of forest. Only 4 to 7% exist today. Experts at this forum initiated to amplify the vision of late Chief S.N. Edu, one of Nigeria's foremost environmentalists, examined the implication of this and preferred solutions.
First thing is to acknowledge that we have to do development in a people-centered way. People need places to live, they need places to do business, they need homes. So we can't pretend that it's people or nature. It has to be people and nature. I mean, the second thing then is to put a price, if you like, on destroying the environment.
The British Deputy High Commissioner to Nigeria highlighted initiatives under climate finance made available by the United Kingdom.
We're doing practical things here in Nigeria. We have a climate finance accelerator initiative intended to try and match projects with money. We have agriculture programs that are helping with smart agriculture, climate resistant agriculture, growing crops that give a greater yield.
Collective and transformative actions, these environmentalists insist, can foster better environmental protection, especially with the increasing effects of climate change. In Lagos, Jennifer Igwe, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time it's now back to Route for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Michael. And still picking up from the environment, this time around in Bauchi, the people of Darazo have continued to count their losses in the aftermath of last Thursday's rains that flooded the community. Mahmoud Mohammed reports that not fewer than 100 houses were damaged by the flood.
This is Darazo town, the headquarters of Darazo local government area. A recent downpour has swept many of their houses here, more than 100 according to authorities. Many of the residents have been rendered homeless as a result of the devastating effect of the flood. Governor Bala Mohammed visits the area to evaluate the level of destruction.
Going to send in some solids and SACO in terms of assistance to all the houses affected by the grace of God. But we have told the chairman and the people, we have to do community engagement. People have to come also and assist because our system may not be enough.
Although no human life lost, properties and livestock were affected by the flood. In Bauchi, Mahmoud Muhammad, NTA News.
Personal Police Command has arrested an escapee from Kuje Correctional Center and 4 suspected kidnappers. Parading the suspects at the command's headquarters, Police Public Relations Officer Superintendent Gambo Isa reaffirmed commitment towards securing lives and property. Awal Haliru will tell us more about it.
As part of intensified efforts to protect lives and property, Katsina State Police Command succeeded in arresting 14 suspects alleged to have committed various crimes. Among the suspects is one escapee from Kuje Correctional Center named Kamal Lawal, who was arrested at a hideout in the Musa local government area of the state.
In the course of the investigation, some quantity of dried leaf suspected to be in there was also recovered in possession during police search. Suspect will be handed over to Nigerian Correctional Service for further necessary action.
The command also paraded leader of a kidnapping gang, Bello Saleh, along with 3 other members of the gang. SP Gamba Isa also noted the efforts of the command in arresting suspected armed robbers who specialize in housebreaking, terrorizing people within Katsina metropolis. Items recovered include motorcycles, locally made guns, computers, and other dangerous weapons. The police public relations officer, SP Gamba Isa, assured residents of the continued commitment to secure lives and property in the state. Awal Halaru, NTA News.
Zamfara state government has dissociated itself from the recent turbaning of a notorious bandit kingpin, Ado Aliro, as Sarkim Fulani by the Emir of Birnin Yendoto in Safi local government area of the state. In this regard, the state governor, Bello Mohammed, has directed for the suspension of the Emir with immediate effect. According to a statement issued by Secretary to Zamfara state government, Kabiru Balarabi, the governor has consequently approved the constitution of a committee to investigate the circumstances that led to the action of the suspended monarch. In the meantime, Alhaji Mahi Garba Marafa, who is the district head of Yendoto, is hereby assigned to take over the affairs of the emirate till further notice. Let's bring you sports update. Right, that's nationwide. Thank you very much for your company. And still on sport news, don't forget to join NTA at 8:30 because that's when the studio will open. We're wishing our Super Falcons, who will be playing against the host country, that is Morocco, in the women's AFCON. So keep a date with NTA and don't forget that the fight